This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Sami.
Yo.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike, and we are almost through 2022 Electric Boogaloo. The months are coming down. October's almost over.
Real quick, I gotta give Mike props. He actually has kept this up the entire year.
Yes.
It's so much so that when he doesn't say it, when he's like the week he wasn't here, it feels wrong. It's like
but you
gotta pick up the slack,
man.
Yes,
I had to because of you.
Yeah.
Well, it still didn't feel right because you didn't say it. So
I
props
don't
to
know
you.
what's going to happen on the first show of 2023. It's 2023 and
because I'm just saying, because I would have forgot by March to keep saying that. So.
Well, if it's 2023 and we have a different governor, we can say 2023 we're finally free. That could be so.
Sweet Lord, please.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you're not catching us live, you might be watching the Astros game. And to be completely honest with you, I'm kind of keeping up with it on the other screen right here. So
I would not be surprised if we have negative viewership because.
Yeah, well, as we're live right now, the Astros are up by 1 going into the bottom of the 8th. So.
Let's just hope when you're talking about some like important news, like they don't hit a homer. And you're like on Dynamite, something happened and someone's like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. We'll try and keep the conversation to wrestling, but don't be surprised if I check out for a bit to post stuff if the Astros win here, because that may very well happen. But anyway,
that's okay.
Yeah,
that's when me and Tommy turn it into Bailey and Rhea Ripley. Tommy.
Yeah, so anyway,
I mean, yeah.
If you're joining us live, we're going to be talking today about NXT Halloween Havoc. If you watched us last week, we weren't sure what we're going to talk about this week, and I remembered, oh yeah, there's actually a show coming up, and be honest with you, kind of looking forward to this one. It almost feels like NXT's version of Extreme Rules, but still, this should be an interesting show. It would be fun for us to talk about a bit and kind of wind down the last couple of weeks of October. As some of you may have noticed, yes, there's going to be a little bit of a logo and branding change for the WrestleCast, and I figure November might be a good month to kick that off when we start talking about Full Gear. And, well, that's a kind of a good segue into talk a bit of wrestling news, because this week we had a Tuesday Dynamite, and I unfortunately didn't get to see it because I don't have TBS or TNT anymore, unfortunately. So it's killing me when I have to watch the Astros right now. I need to just sign up for Sling just for the playoffs. But this Tuesday Dynamite, there's been a lot coming out of it. First of all, I'm glad Hangman Page is doing better. Props to, I forget the ref's name that was in the ring at the time.
Paul Turner.
Paul Turner, who got a shout out from Chris Nowinski. Who shout out, he handled it very well. Immediately understood there's a neck injury, concussion. I'm glad Paige is doing okay. But the biggest news out of that is we have a main event for Full Gear. It's not going to be some sort of cash in. MJF is calling it. He wants Moxley at Full Gear, and go for it.
About that,
yeah,
this is going to sound really bad,
oh,
but if us not getting MJF Punk gave us that MJF William Regal promo, I'm kind of okay with that.
Okay.
If that was what we got instead, I'm like, where's the downside?
Yeah.
Can I just add one little thing? Was this the Canada show or is that the week before?
That was the week before.
That was the week before, yeah.
Where were they this week?
Cincinnati. They were in Cincinnati.
That's right. Shame on you, Cincinnati. Look, don't get me wrong. MJF is an incredible promo, and obviously he's future star, all that good stuff about him. But that caused you to boo William Regal? The audacity. And the man is so good, he got you back on his side in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, Cincinnati, look, cheer MJF. I get that. He's a top star. It doesn't matter if he read the menu right now from McDonald's. You would cheer him with the way he says it, the intensity. Because I'm going to be honest, I didn't feel that bad for him and what he was saying. And when William Regal took the mic, that's exactly what he said. If that was your hardship, you had it pretty easy, sunshine.
Yeah.
Cincinnati fans, how dare you?
I watched it, and I don't know if you guys ever watched the cartoon Gargoyles back in the day.
Not a lot, but yeah.
The main villain was David Xanatos, and like he always had this perpetual smile on his face, like no matter how bad things got, he was like, all according to plan. He was on the back of a cop car at the end of like the first fight. He was like, all according to plan. So that's how William Regal looked to me when he like MJ. He was just smiling, all according to plan. It's like even people were booing. Of course, then again, I have a feeling William Regal has the most I don't give a ish attitude that in pro wrestling. Like, oh, they're booing me. Oh, is it 1996? Okay, I don't care.
No. I mean, you're not wrong, but he's long. I mean, obviously, ever since he kind of got over some of the issues he had in the late 90s. Like, I remember one time they asked him, he did it was in Vegas. They were doing one of their like crazy Vegas shows, and he had like a showgirl match versus Goldust. And he came out dressed all flamboyantly or whatever. And, people asking me, why, you're William Regal, you're wrestling. He was like, I'm a wrestler. I'm an entertainer. Like, if that's what they want me to do, I'll do it because it's all part of the show. Like, I think he totally nothing phases him, and he understands.
I think he takes himself much less seriously than everyone else.
Oh
does.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because he gets when the jokes come in. I mean, he's serious when he has to be, but at the time, man, he's hilarious.
This is first of all, I love that this is where the main event's going to go. I'm kind of glad they're getting to this, and at least right now, I fully expect MJF to win.
Yeah,
but that is going to be a busy wrestling weekend. That Friday, the day before, is Impact Overdrive on Impact Plus. We're gonna have Full Gear that Saturday, and I want to say Survivor Series is that Sunday. Am I not mistaken?
Surely not.
Let me check.
Just to be sure.
No, the following Saturday. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Thanksgiving Saturday is Survivor Series War Games. Happy Thanksgiving. Here's a double cage, right? So it's
all I want for Christmas. Okay.
Yeah. So it is going to be a busy couple of weeks of wrestling in November, and that's really kind of cool just to see that kind of kick off like a prime wrestling season, if you will, going into the holidays and getting right into WrestleMania week season.
And I don't know if this means anything yet, but Adam Cole just tweeted out a few minutes ago, you didn't come this far to only come this far. So
he's probably talking about his progress on the game he's Twitch streaming right now.
Now, I agree with that because let me be perfectly honest without trying to sound like I'm just, I'm an Adam Cole fan. You all are. So sure. But let me just be honest. His Twitch channel is hilarious. He's hilarious, man. He's just so naturally fun. I love everyone. I don't know if you guys have seen the tweets. I like when all this backstage drama is happening. Someone did like a drawing, like everyone's fighting in the background, and there's like him playing playing on the Switch. He's like saying, "Oh, Kirby, can you ever eat enough?" And I'm just like, that actually sounds like something he'd do.
Yeah, the best thing I've just heard about him, or that I like about him, is as much as he plays such a cocky a-hole in NXT and as his time in AEW, in real life, I have not heard one person say even the slightest, like, he didn't say bless you when I sneeze, like nothing. Like nothing, but he is the most genuinely nice person you will ever meet. That's like amazing acting. That's like, get him in some movies at that.
He's probably like someone sneezed. Hey man, you need a tissue? We're right back. I'll get you a tissue.
I'm gonna go down to Walgreens. I'll be right back, man. Just
yeah. It's like, you know what? I think I have a whole pack in my car. I want you to have it. I'll be right back with that.
All right, well, we'll see how it plays out getting into November. But again, that's going to be a little bit of a rebranding for us. New logo, maybe some new looks, stuff I'm still working on, but we'll see.
Maybe some new faces.
No, I'm kidding.
Maybe some new faces. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what else we do here. I might actually clean this room up behind me so it looks a little bit more presentable. Yeah.
What? So. A messy room? What are you talking about, man? We don't.
Hey, Matt, if you're watching, maybe I'll actually give away one of the Funko Pops. Probably.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Yeah,
so.
it's never happening.
Now NXT Halloween.
No way.
before we get into our discussion of NXT Halloween Havoc, I gotta ask Mike. You're the old school WCW guy. Which one for you is like your favorite Halloween Havoc event?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know if it was my favorite one, but there's one that sticks out in my head because it goes back to the time where I couldn't watch pay-per-views live. And age check here. You could watch the pay-per-view channel scrambled, and obviously only did that for wrestling pay-per-views and nothing else.
Agreed. American Pie, anybody?
And so you can kind of watch it and hear what's going on. So there's a Rumble Halloween Havoc 91, 92, somewhere really early in the 90s where it's WCW, so it's Sting versus the Horsemen.
Naturally.
And Sting, so what I hear and what I've always read before I got the network and actually got to watch it was Sting gets led to the back. And then he comes out later like he's been tied up, but it looks a little different. And then what happens in real life is Barry Windham comes back out, face painted, hair dyed like Sting, the old blonde surfer Sting. And he was going to like take a loss real quick or a roll up or something. And then the real Sting comes out before they can do all this. And in my head, I was like, oh, man, this is crazy. And if you watch it in real life, if you can't tell the difference, and if you can't tell the difference between Barry Windham Sting, it's as bad as like when NWO fake Sting came along. And people are like, is that really Sting? And you're like, are you really that dumb?
Is that really Sting? Are you really high?
So that's just always stuck out as just kind of a funny thing. I also love the Halloween Havoc entrance in NWO versus the World, and the NWO WCW games on 64.
Yeah.
And then there's a somewhat famous or infamous maybe Goldberg DDP main event. That didn't get to end on the pay-per-view.
So that's going to be something I was going to talk about. Yeah. Halloween Havoc 1998. Was kind of looking through, and this is one of the most infamous ones. Let's see if you guys can answer some of these questions. What match that night actually received a negative 5-star rating?
That night of 98?
Yeah.
Was it a women's match?
No.
Okay.
Did it involve like the Filthy Animals or Masterpiece?
It involved a couple of wrestling legends.
Hogan, and was that a Hogan Piper one, or
Hogan was one of them?
Was it the Warrior?
Hogan and Warrior.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so sad how we're all like, oh no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't know that was Halloween Havoc. I didn't know when that match happened, but that's. If it's the same match I'm thinking about, then yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Hogan actually talks a lot about that on that old DVD, The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, that WWE released some years back, and even the promos leading up to it. I never did buy
that one. I always wanted
to. Isn't your favorite? Well, I don't know if it's from that one, but was it Christian who does the Ultimate Warrior promos, or?
It's Christian does it on that one. Yeah. And I don't know if Cesaro was signed at the time, but he
does them too, right?
He does. No, I'm sorry, he does Scott Steiner. But yeah, Christian does the perfect like Ultimate Warrior promos and everything like that too. Talking about that the whole time. So yeah, that match, of course, Hogan avenged his WrestleMania 6 loss to Warrior.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, this Halloween Havoc also featured the first televised match between which two longtime tag team partners?
Harlem Heat?
No.
Scott and Rick Steiner?
No.
Long time tag team.
Jason's reminiscing now. That was horrendous. Yeah.
This is all still on 98, right?
This is all Halloween Havoc 98 related. Yeah. So
98 tag team, longtime tag partners. Were in WCW. Wasn't Rick and Scott? Wasn't Hall and Nash? Was it?
It was Hall and Nash. It was the first time they ever wrestled each other on TV.
Was that when Hall or Nash had gone Wolfpack by that point?
Yeah, I think it was Wolfpack.
You know what? You're right.
Black and white. Yeah. So
I think it's because like they started NWO in '96, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it probably been going for a while.
Yeah.
96, yes, yeah, by 98.
Because remember that whole year when everyone thought WCW was on fire and it was just, NWO has beaten everyone down again, and they got 5 new members.
Yeah,
it's not as fun as some people remember.
Which is why that was why I always, whenever people always said back in the day that Bullet Club was just the new World Order. I'm like, first of all, no, it's not.
So yeah, that was also a little bit of trivia. The last Halloween Havoc Kevin Nash ever competed in.
Huh.
So yeah, interesting enough. So
that was like 4 quads ago or something. So
yeah.
Now interesting enough, you mentioned, of course,
that was mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're not that long running tag wrestlers. Yeah, I get it, but by standards of like everyone knew them as tag team wrestlers. It's true. They weren't that long, but they're pretty famous for that. You mentioned, of course, the main event, DDP and Goldberg gets cut off because they run over time, and WCW has to basically issue refunds on that night, losing thousands of dollars to pretty much everybody that bought the show.
Yep.
Because they didn't get to see the main event. But it actually led to the most watched match in the history of Nitro the next night.
Yeah. I love how they try to spin that like, it was the most watched. Well, duh, stupid. They could have watched it on the pay-per-view when they paid for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say that, but think about how many matches they gave away before they should have. I mean, Goldberg, Hogan at the Georgia Dome or whatever.
Yeah.
They gave that away a little bit early. There was the Giant and Goldberg too, or something like that.
Yeah, that could have been a pay-per-view.
I think happened
It's just the thing. It's not that that match actually happened at Nitro. They filmed it with the Halloween Havoc and aired it the next night because no one got to see it. So at the time, you're watching a pay-per-view match on free TV. 7.7 million viewers got to see that. And that was also the last time Nitro ever beat Raw on the Monday Night Wars. Was just for that match. That was
week 83 or 82 or whatever.
Whatever week it was, yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, because what's his name? Bischoff also has the podcast named that. So.
Yeah. Now, there's one longtime WCW wrestler who competed at every Halloween Havoc except for the one in 1998. Who was it?
Luger?
One WCW wrestler who competed at every Halloween Havoc except for 98.
Yeah.
Luger?
Basically, when he started wrestling for the company. Sorry, not Luger.
Okay.
But I'm saying, but when he started wrestling in the company, he competed in every Halloween Havoc while he was there, except for this one. And I'll say that he started there in '95.
Damn it! I had a name. I forgot.
Hogan? No, he fought Warrior. No, that's right.
Yeah.
Benoit.
Not Benoit.
Okay.
But you're kind of on the same lines.
Taskmaster?
No.
Oh, I didn't know where the same line was. So
Perry Saturn? No.
Just think of that group that Benoit was closely associated
Eddie
with.
Guerrero?
Eddie Guerrero. That was the only Halloween Havoc he missed during his time at WCW.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just happened to find that stuff out. So
yeah.
And then of course Hogan talked about how that he burned his face during the whole paper thing that they did. So it was the fireball stuff, which made no sense. And then some final bit. It was the first time Warrior and Ming were on the same show in 7 years. Believe it or not.
So random.
Yeah.
That's random for itself. Right?
They hadn't wrestled. The last time they were together at a show together was at a WWE house show in July of 1991. And they weren't on the same show together until that Halloween Havoc 98. So this is just like, I just did like a random search of interesting facts, and that one came up, and I was like, yeah, I remember how bad that one was. It wasn't December to Dismember bad, but it was infamous for so many different things.
Well, that individual match might have been as bad as December to Dismember.
Yeah. So, this. So, I think Steady's making guesses. No, it wasn't Flair. We already said it. So,
yeah.
Come on.
You're too late.
I mean, in all fairness, if the question is not mid-90s to late 90s WCW, Flair, Sting are pretty much the two first choices you go with.
Yeah. Really.
Because you have a really good chance of being the right answer.
Yeah. But it's crazy to think that nowadays, if a show's running over time, it's on a streaming service. They'll just go till it finishes. But back then, how important pay-per-view revenue was, like you had to fit it in those 3 hours. And as soon as that time was done, they cut the feed and that was it. You ran over.
Yeah.
So,
wasn't the Hogan Warrior match part of the reason they ran out of time? Didn't that go too long or something like that? I thought.
I mean, it's Hogan, so I believe you.
I believe it went long, and Warrior was at the time doing his thing.
Yeah.
And they always try to fit everything in. You could have cut here and there, but they just tried to do it. And
do we have any idea what that thing Warrior was doing was, or you just said Warrior was doing his thing, and I was like,
he was. Remember, he was doing the whole promos where like the smoke would fill the ring, and then he would show up, and Hogan was pissed at the time because it was like he's sitting there saying, "Well, you've never beat me. You're kind of just destroying the whole build up to what we're trying to do here."
Yeah,
and Warrior always had to get his stuff in and do his whole spiel and all that stuff, and it just kind of ran long, and the fireball thing didn't exactly make sense.
Put everyone over all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I can think of. I can't think of one guy Hogan ever held down, except for what's the term I'm looking for? Oh, all of them. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. every
I will say
from the 80s and 90s.
Mystical Warrior.
I always feel bad about one thing about Halloween about that Halloween Havoc. Wow, that would not come out for the life of me. Was like Goldberg has always said that was probably his best match was with that one with DDP. When you watch it, he's pretty much right. Like that one, DDP. DDP has always been one of my favorites as far as WCW wrestlers go. He's always in my top two, if not number one. Him and Sting are always tied in that.
I wonder if we were to go back and watch that on Peacock or WWE Network or whatever, if they actually cut the event when it feed dies, or do they just let it go and air the whole show?
I want to say I'm not 100% sure. I think it cuts like it did, but then they just go right back.
They just cut right back into the vid.
Yeah, okay. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Because I thought I watched it a while ago, like when it first came out.
Yeah. I might go back and watch that just to one of those how bad it is. That's something we need to do. Just so we have a week, nothing to do. Hey, let's just watch a pay-per-view and just react live to it, right? So,
hey, that's on the Patreon.
I was gonna say that's what the Patreon is gonna be for, man. Look, the second we get that up and running, that's all we're doing. Because if I gotta start like bringing out DVDs and so we can watch them that way, I'll do it. I'll go back to my parents' house, get all my stuff.
It's moments like that I really miss Tez because I know he would get a kick out of that shit. So that's something I always wanted to do. Yeah.
Would those be the DVDs that are famous on the show?
You know what? You know what? Just for that, when we get this damn Patreon, that's the first one we're watching. Is that? I'm putting the cover. I'm going to flash the cover onto the screen, and we're just going to watch that one together.
That's fine. And then JC, see if you can get Brandon Oliver to find us the video of Tina managing, and possibly also a certain dive.
One time. This happened one time.
That was mentioned in a Facebook post earlier this week.
Forget it.
Never. It's ingrained in our brains. And I honestly, you know what? I should reach out to Brandon to see if he's got the footage. I know he's got it in his library somewhere.
I swear he better not have that anymore.
If you think about it, where the hard cam was in that building, you were diving right towards it.
First of all, just kind of air quotes. Secondly, I hope he doesn't have the footage.
I mean, you were, from what I remember, it was very Buzz Lightyear, falling with style. But
it was falling. I don't know if it was with style. But anyway, let's move on.
I mean,
I hate this damn
in all fairness,
I hate this show.
If it makes you feel better, we know someone that we used to go to wrestling shows a lot with who literally broke his leg doing something similar. So at least you didn't have that.
Still, I hate this show. I don't know why I agree to this every week.
Hey, you know what? Torre said you are definitely a Texas wrestling legend, Tommy. So you're the only guy I know who can, I wouldn't say sneak in, but get into a show free without having to sneak in. And plenty of Ring of Honor shows. You did that.
Okay, again, this happened twice. That happened twice. Never mind.
Okay, happened twice. Yes, so don't even. And it's the only guy I know that can walk through and say, "Oh, Tommy, yeah, just go in. Don't worry about it." Really? Ring of Honor? Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's move on and let's talk about NXT Halloween Havoc, which at this point, I can pretty much guarantee will be better than Halloween Havoc 1998. I'm pretty sure we'll get to see every match that is scheduled to be on there.
I'm going to say, I'm positive we'll see the whole main event.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it's
You know what's steady?
I did not say a thing.
You know what's steady?
I'm wearing the shirt.
You know what's steady? I don't care if you started all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That needs to get trending, guys. Everyone share that. And Jason's like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Jackass.
Yeah.
And I have not said anything on the show. I mentioned it before.
I can't believe Steady said it and you didn't, Mike. Damn it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Leave it to him.
I think Steady likes to stir some stuff up when we're streaming.
I think he does. I think
especially after he's had a few drinks. I
think next he's gonna be like, well, no one really likes Bailey, and I'm gonna be like, whoa, Steady.
Yeah.
Gonna punch you in the face now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as I said to kick off the show, this one, Halloween Havoc, almost feels like NXT's version of Extreme Rules. Sometimes there's like gimmicks involved with everything here. And we got a few of that here. We're going to start by talking about an ambulance match between Julius Creed and Damon Kemp. Now, if Julius Creed loses, Brutus Creed will have to leave NXT. Which has me wondering if they're planning to just call this guy up. Is this set up, that kind of thing?
Yeah,
but
that's a random stipulation. I was like, okay, is this WCW booked? Because that's
it is a weird stipulation, but also has me guessing. Does everyone agree? You think Damon Kemp's going to win here? Is this really? Why would they put that stipulation in?
Yeah.
It reminds me one time when WWE just randomly out of nowhere was like, "Hey, if the Iconics lose, they got to break up," and you're like, "Oh, that's
God."
That's
that was the worst. That was the worst idea they ever had. Well, top 5.
That's the worst. We're talking about all the bad ideas. It's one of the worst ones in recent memory. But
top 5.
So.
Well, I'm sure Mike would agree it was the worst idea they ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. Don't get me wrong, but when she was just trying to fit in on SmackDown and was like killing all the stupid stuff they Riot Squad. I mean, she made an amazing thing out of dumb booking.
Yeah,
but all that stuff that was funny. I mean, they were just good, and then we got inspired for a little bit, and then they wanted to become actresses, and now one's pregnant and
putting some funny TikToks out there too. It's definitely go check them out if you can.
I mean, still, and the IG game is still fire, so I got no complaints.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Perfect time. All right. So at camp, everyone thinks Camp's going to win. I can just pretty much write that down, or does anyone think that Julius Creed wins?
I'll go out on a limb and say Creed. Actually, just
Okay.
just to be contrary.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mike?
It really does confound me. Like, if Brutus leaves, does Julius just go like, "All right, me too," or do they think Brutus is better than Julius? And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Damon Keb. I don't know.
Okay. As am I.
Jason, in her defense, I'm more than positive Vince killed the Riot Squad, but yeah. But they're all doing fine now.
Everyone's good now because Vince is gone, right? So
a lot of these are good because Vince is gone.
All right. One of two spin the wheel, make a deal matches. We got a Weapons Wild match between Roxanne Bettis and Cora Jade. Weapons Wild pretty much just tells me this is Extreme Rules. Anything goes, almost like a street fight. That's the vibe I get from this. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying I think...
Jason, how dare you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he just saw the comment?
Yeah. Oh, he just saw the comment right now? Yeah.
So, did that just pop up? I'm sorry. I was looking at
the Riot Squad one? Yeah, it was just there.
Yeah. Give us a second ago.
That's right.
How dare you?
First of all, Roxanne Perez, great showing on SmackDown. Really cool to see her there. But is she finishing up her time in NXT, or was that just a one-time thing with SmackDown? It's hard to tell right now.
So I think that she's going to be on NXT for a while because supposedly they took them to get them some experience, but also they brought the superstars down to NXT because they wanted to be Tuesday Dynamite so bad. I don't know if you noticed, there was like Rhea Ripley, Raquel, Nakamura.
Nakamura showed up randomly. Yeah.
You can't, for as much as I love about Triple H, you can't go, oh, well, they beat our, they beat our lower level, and then try your hardest, is one or the other. Come on.
Yeah. Roxanne better win this, and I really hope she does too. I'm actually picking her to win this as well. Tommy, what about you?
I'm picking Roxanne because of course I am. Also, I feel like she's angry about Rhea Ripley trying to turn her on on NXT. We all know what I mean by that when I say that.
Is she angry though?
She's probably more confused now. I was like, you know what? I was straight.
I'm going to pick Roxanne too, but I don't mean this insultingly toward Cora Jade, but it's obviously got so much. Oh my God, why can I not think of any names tonight? I'm a badass when you're like 5'2", not much. Like it, I don't know. It doesn't come across to me. It's very.
What's the term? Little man syndrome, right? So
that. Oh my God, who's the punk rock singer who sings "Girlfriend"?
Avril
Lavigne.
Yeah.
Like kind of fake.
Sorry,
that's what I was going
for.
that
connection until now. I agree.
Because I don't know, like she was walking around with that big metal stick thing, whatever.
Yeah. Yo, Jason coming through with the fire tonight, bro.
I'm enjoying it.
Choose Roxanne, yes.
Okay. All right. We're all going Roxanne there.
Wow.
Damn, Jason coming with the fire tonight. He won't
smoke. Other spin the wheel, make a deal match, and this one is actually to be determined. Well, here we go. Cora Jade's babyface trying to be a heel. Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah,
but you need something big to just kind of get that over. Now the type of match this is going to be is to be determined, unless that's the point. I mean, this is almost like a. What was it? The Taboo
have they
Tuesday?
Spun the wheel yet? Wait,
yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to do it that night.
Like they spin the wheel and it land on TBD? Or?
Vacant is the challenger.
Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller. The winner has to be from parts unknown from now
on. Maybe that's a tables, bats, and I don't know. I was trying to make something
interesting.
Tables, bats, and dynamite.
Yes.
they're going to do the actual exploding ring match.
They actually probably would use Dynamite just to take a shot at AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, they would.
And then it wouldn't explode, so they would.
Again, like AEW. So
not wrong there.
So who do you guys think walks away with this one? Tommy, we'll start with you.
I want to say Apollo Crews only because, dear God, give the man something at this point. I just want him to. I want Apollo Crews to have nice things. Can't help it.
Yeah. Mike.
I'm gonna go with Grayson Waller because I assume he's one they're trying to build up, and again, with I think it's good what Apollo's been doing here. Although I didn't watch a lot of episodes, but I heard people talking about it. And apparently, he was psychic or had like That's So Raven powers or something. I don't know. Apparently, he could like see the future for a little bit or something. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, I mean, I think Grayson Waller is someone they see as having potential for the future. So
yeah.
As do I. That's why I'm picking him as well to win this. The kind of the wild card is we don't know what kind of match this is going to be. We just know it's to be determined. It's going to be one of those though. So, Ted, nice try, but I actually did see the end of the game. Liar. The Astros did just win. 5 down, 6 to go for a World Series championship. So
Steady
is definitely the good.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jason wants to smoke and Steady is choosing violence tonight. Like, dude, like
he's definitely instigating tonight.
For real.
Yeah. What is going on, guys? What is going on here? So all right. NXT North American Championship currently held by Vacant, but Vacant will not be participating in the ladder match to decide this one.
Never gets to defend his
Never. It's a shame. It's a damn shame he's held so many titles. Never gets to defend him.
I mean, at this point, Vacant's the most decorated champion in the history of pro wrestling. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
He would.
Steady.
Wow. Steady down.
Carmelo Hayes versus Oro Mensah versus Wesley versus Von Wagner versus Nathan Frazier. This is a 5-way ladder match here, unless they decide to add somebody else last minute. Mike, who's walking away with the NXT North American Championship?
Carmelo Hayes.
All right. It must feel like
he's the one I think I know. He's the one I think I know the most. No. I mean, I don't know what happened to Von Wagner when 2.0 started. He was like right at the forefront. They brought him on to SmackDown for like an episode or two, like last year. And then apparently they realized he's just like a big Viking and he's not that entertaining. So I don't know. I'll go with Carmelo. I know he just had it, or he was one of the ones that had it.
Yeah, he lost to Solo, I think, and then.
But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know some of these other people as much. I don't know who Oro Mensah, or honestly, don't know who Nathan Frazier is.
Okay. I'm going with Wes Lee. I know he's a former NXT Tag Team Champion, and that's kind of, I feel like he's kind of that young upstart that they're trying to build up. So I just have a feeling, for whatever reason, seeing his name there, seeing him in this match, he's going to be the one to do it. Tommy, what about you?
I was going Wesley as well. I mean, and it's not for obvious reasons of his name, but but no, I feel like after that whole thing with MSK and Zachary Wentz kind of getting the raw end of that deal I mean, I kind of get part of the reason, but also not. But also, I feel like they're gonna bring up Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams pretty soon to the main roster.
Oh, I mean, I meant Wesley too. Yeah, that's what I meant.
All right, NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose against Alba Fire. I'm going with one of the greatest NXT Women's Champions in the history of the promotion, Mandy Rose, buddy. So,
hey, Steady, what's up?
What's up? What?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I just thought you were instigating now. So
I'm not instigating. She's been great. She's great as a heel. She's great as a champion. Like, they really got to build something up if someone's going to take the title off her. But I still got Mandy Rose holding this, and I'm probably going to keep picking her until someone beats her at this point. So,
because if someone beats her, then you can't pick her.
Yeah, exactly. Unless she gets the rematch. Mike, who you picking, Dick?
I'm picking the Scottish sensation. I think she's from Scotland. Or she's from somewhere around there. I'm picking Alba Fire.
You're right. She's from Scotland. Good job.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, nailed it.
I knew that. Because she was what? Wasn't that Kaylee Ray or Kai?
That was Kaylee Ray. Yeah,
that's Kaylee Ray. Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I'm not going to lie though. Much like Jade Cargill and TNT,
I knew that's where he was
I'm kind of
going
over
with that.
this title. I'm kind of over this title run. It was good, but like I kind of figured when it turned from 2.0 back to white and gold or whatever in between this is, that would kind of change too. But I mean, it's been a good run. I mean, all joking aside, but it's something new. I need to move on.
All right, Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I was actually going Alba Fire too because I feel like after her really good run in NXT UK, I feel like that's one reason they brought her over in the first place because I know a lot of NXT UK I think they released them right, but they kept a few people, so I figured
there
were certain ones they kept, yeah.
So I figured that's why.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going with I mean. Mexico Satomura should have it in the first damn place. But that's neither here nor there. Actually, it's here and it's there, but never mind.
Okay.
Oh, I was about to call you the wrong name. I thought you were someone from our other group chat.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
It wasn't an insult.
See you, Mike.
No, it wasn't.
Are you sure? Okay.
You think it's an insult to think you're that person?
I'm kidding.
Main event
tonight.
Main event for the NXT Championship is a triple threat. Braun Breaker defending against Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough. Every time there's a McD, I always have to sound it out. I feel like
it's because anything with an Irish last name and it's Mick, it can literally it's almost like a Japanese pronunciation. How it's spelled could be how it sounds, or it could absolutely not be at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Was KO on NXT also?
Yes, for the KO show.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, they did pull up the stops.
Yeah. Apparently, KO said, "JD, don't Google my name, Madonna."
No, he said. No. I'll tell you what he said because someone, the guy I follow on Instagram posted. He said, "JD Mc, don't Google me," and I couldn't breathe for laughing so hard.
And yeah, it's funny, but I'm a little surprised WWE was okay with it or let it go.
Triple H is in charge now, and it's Kevin Owens. He's probably one of the safest people in this whole company right now.
That's probably
literally anyone else probably would have gotten a rip for it. Kevin Owens saying that's to me that's one of Triple H's latest sons. So Kevin Owens is completely safe.
Stephanie's like, Trips, you have daughters. Yeah, but I have Kevin.
I know. But welcome our son. He's coming to Thanksgiving. For last time, he's not coming to Thanksgiving. Why not? Why can't my son come by? He's not your kid.
Did Triple H just become Batman, or
Triple H has always been Batman?
He did ask. He did ask. KO did ask to go to the zoo though after Thanksgiving dinner, so hopefully he gets that.
Well, back to this main event. Tommy, who are you picking to win this triple threat match here? So
I'm going out on a limb and I'm saying Ilya Dragunov because I as a dude who formerly was not that into him because I didn't know that much about him. After watching just a few matches, I'm completely on the Dragunov bandwagon. So I'm picking him because dude's mad entertaining, mad talented. And if you could actually make Walter feel pain, you have my absolute respect. So Ilya Dragunov.
All right, Mike, what about you?
I'm going to agree with Tommy, actually. Especially after that series of matches he had with Walter at the time. Those were incredible. And the little story they told, even though apparently no one saw it because it was on NXT UK, was pretty cool. I mean,
you're not wrong.
I'm not laughing because of I'm just laughing because of the accuracy. It's like, damn, the man's got a.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Hey,
so,
Tommy, have you checked Twitter lately?
I have not. Why? What's up?
Oh, I think you should.
Oh, my Twitter or just Twitter specific?
Your Twitter. JC, you might want to check the WrestleCast Twitter.
We need to.
You know
what? There it is. I'm gonna pull it up here. I'm retweeting that.
I'm not retweeting that. I absolutely refuse to retweet that. I'm not going to do it. You know what? It's not.
I wonder if we could get Jasmine to retweet it.
You son of a snitch.
Her number one fan, I heard. Hey, everyone chose violence tonight, so I'm throwing my hat in the ring.
Well, I just tagged you on it.
First of all, you always choose violence. That's like literally nothing new. It's always you choosing violence.
How dare you say honest things to me in this podcast and speak the truth, Tommy? I'm not going to hear any of this.
It was the legit offense. He's saying, "How dare you say honest things to me?"
Well, I did just tag Jasmine Lornette, so let's see what happens here. Anyway, my pick for this, I am
you
going
want to use the Geekcast one as well.
Yep, I am going to go with Braun Breaker to retain. I've been saying that he should really be like the lone holdout of NXT 2.0. He still has the freaking painted tights and everything that kind of matches the old logo as it is. So I think that's something that he could just run with, and maybe I think when he gets the call over to the main roster, it'd probably be around the Royal Rumble. You know, he might be one of the surprise entrants here.
You mean
Jason, you turncoat. Jason, you turncoat. I saw what you said. I don't know if you can say it's. Oh, you can't see it. Oh wait, yeah.
Man,
Jason, you turncoat. I'm gonna remember that. Okay. All right. Okay.
He said indubitably.
Indubitably.
You know what? I hate this show. I hate this show.
So I got to get one more joke in. You mean, Braun, don't call me Scotty Jr. Breaker?
NXT Halloween Havoc is this Saturday, October 22nd, 7 p.m. Central Time. I believe the kickoff show starts at 6 or 6:30. Will be taking place at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, and will be on Peacock exclusively. So, you guys enjoying these Saturday events that WWE's pulling off, whether it's a mainline pay-per-view or NXT pay-per-view? It's kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's I mean, I feel like pay-per-views on different days during the weekend it gives you it. I guess for one, I like it. It kind of makes you pay attention, and also it's just fun to have it on different days. Although if I heard correctly, they're supposed to be changing some of the schedule around next year. And I remember Terry saying he's hoping that means less pay-per-views for WWE because that gives stuff more time to build up. And I tend to agree. Like, you know, like not a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I heard that they canceled day one, the January 1st pay-per-view, and as of right now, there is no pay-per-view from Survivor Series to Rumble, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
if they build
that gets
it right.
rid of TLC, right? TLC was always the December
and they're apparently also like I guess that's what you're talking about, the rebranding. I heard they're going to try and get away from those TLC Hell in the Cell like specific event.
Because
that was the rumor. I don't know if it was
too,
official, but yeah.
Well, see, here's how I look at it. I feel like when you're younger and you're just getting into wrestling, like, oh, and a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, oh, that's cool. It sounds like we're getting one every year. And then the more you watch wrestling, you're like, one guaranteed every year. That kind of kills the
definitely diluted the pool of like, now we just have to have one because it's the name of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and it kills the aesthetic that was Hell in a Cell. Like that was, to me, Hell in a Cell was always like the last match when you exhausted all the possibilities. Like you could not settle the feud. Okay, you guys really want to settle it one last time? Cool, in Hell in a Cell, and that's what it was to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Hell in a Cell was to me, and Jason said it. Well, he said it was like no day one and please no Hell in a Cell.
I was gonna say he said no Usos pay-per-view, but
no. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think you know what? Was just something they did last year because of where January 1st fell on a calendar.
Well, you know what? I think that's why they're not doing it because Roman Reigns said we the ones, so they can't have a day one because they're the ones and everyone else is the two, so they can have a day two.
Sami Zayn filed the legal paperwork for them. He's a good oos.
Yep.
I don't get how you have a stable with this many good talkers and you still love it when everyone gets the mic. It's still entertaining as hell when all of them get the mic. Like what was it this past a couple weeks ago when like they were telling Sammy was telling Jay, "You got to be cool," and like Jay was looking at Roman. He said, "Don't look at me," and I was like, "This is hilarious. What is happening right now?"
I hope and pray to God that they are running cameras behind the scene the whole time, because I want to see a WWE documentary down the road of this whole run of Sami Zayn with the Bloodline, because just another one of those, like Sammy's ability, like we've talked about a lot of these guys, to take what was at one point crap,
yeah,
and turn it into gold, which
sure.
he was kind of getting for a long time. But once he found, once they put him and got him in the storyline with the Bloodline, and everyone realized he's like the funniest person ever. And I'm not sure sometimes if he's trying to be funny or not. It's just him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just priceless. And he hits that handshake every time.
Every time.
I tell you, he would have to retire from wrestling if he ever missed it. He would have to go hang out with El Generico in the
orphanage
down in Mexico, but he has not missed it once.
I want the documentary to be real, because I want to see all the moments that Roman had to go backstage when the cameras were finally off and break, because there are times you can see him and Jay in the ring. They're like they have to like cover their face and everything because Sammy's so funny. It's like that's like Jay's probably like, this is probably the best acting out of Jay ever, because he has to pretend he hates Sami Zayn for like an entire night, and he's probably like, this is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
All right, let's move into our 1 minute warning segment, guys. Mike, you got something this week?
Yeah.
All right. Whenever you're ready, set, and go.
So I kind of talked about this in my 1 minute warning last week, and then even after the 1 minute warning, we talked about the segment, obviously setting up the Full Gear pay-per-view in AEW. But go watch the short interview. It's a sit-down recorded interview. Renee Paquette with Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta, because the minute I saw that last week, I was like, ooh, finally they're going to do something with this. And they did. It was great. Bryan Danielson talking about Daniel Garcia, talking about how he still thinks he's great. He thinks he could be the greatest wrestler ever. And finally, Yuta had enough of it and asked Daniel Bryan how you could be so dumb. He said he still has Dragon Slayer on his tights. He's like, I guess when I bled with you and Moxley, it meant nothing. But he's like, the Blackpool Combat Club still means something to me and Claudio, and it should mean something to Mox. I don't know what it means to you. For what it was, I said this when Bryan Danielson came back. It didn't look like it was associating with them. I don't know if it was intentional or storyline, but they're making it a storyline. And I'm here for it, because honestly, if we get a Yuta Bryan Danielson match, just bring him on. Keep going.
Yeah. Could be building to that. You think that'd be Full Gear? Or you think they might save that for later on? So
I'll take it whenever you want to give it.
Nice.
I feel like that would probably be Full Gear if they do it. Because
it might be, but
because I feel like that's when Yuta's confidence, just like Daniel Garcia, you can tell they're way more confident than they were when they showed up. Really, Yuta is like, I think he's like this close to having a 5-star classic, and like him being like the next Zack Sabre Jr. Like they don't always have to do dives and stuff, but they will all their technical. It's the syndrome Bryan Danielson kind of started, where it's like, oh, they're not always that super flashy, except like when they're being technical, and that's just like that's also what wrestling is, and that's fun too. So
yeah.
Tommy, you got something this week?
Actually, I do.
All right. Are you ready? And go.
Okay, so to suspend our disbelief for just a moment, Sami Zayn, aka El Generico, I know that's something suspended for a moment. I know we're enjoying how good he is now, but I was watching some old PWG clips from back in the day, like maybe about 10 years ago, and I was like, I almost forgot he's always been this entertaining. He's always been this good. It's just that just back then he didn't talk. He like his actions did the talking, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because I remember one review of his time with the Bloodline, of like how he captured the audience with just his facial expressions. And the key example I have of that before this was his feud with Kevin Steen in ROH in 2010, I think, before their final battle where Steen had to retire. basically not being ROH for about 6 months while they repackaged all that. Like all you saw was his face when they challenged him, when Steen challenged him to that match, and he just had to, like, with no vocal communication, like, sell that he was enraged and hated him, and he did. And, because Sami Zayn, El Generico has always had that talent facially to pull a crowd in and really believe in whatever it is he's selling. The fact that he's a hell of a wrestler is, like, pun intended, is just icing on the cake, because there have been plenty of wrestlers who can do all that but can't wrestle that well. The fact that he can wrestle his ass off is also, like, just a plus. The guy is just all around amazing, and he's gonna go down as one of the best of all time, whether people realize it or not. When people get to this conversation, like, about in a few years, they're gonna realize, hey, Sami Zayn's just all around amazing, isn't he? Like, yeah, and he always has been.
I don't know if I got something this week. I just want to at least point out that Ring of Honor Final Battle is happening, and I believe they announced it for December 10th.
And Mission Pro's that same day.
Yeah. So that's really all I need to call out. I got nothing to call out this week, but November is going to be a big month, like I said. But this weekend's event, Halloween Havoc, I'm actually looking forward to it. Hoping I can catch some of it. Because more baseball and softball with the kids anyway. So let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I don't have a 1 minute warning this week, guys. Couldn't think of anything. So
mine just came because I remember, because I had some downtime at work, as rare as that is nowadays, and that's surprising to say. I was getting to watch some old, like, PWG, like, how they did the highlight videos. They still do, like, whenever they have a PWG show. And I saw, like, his facial expressions. I was like, he's always been just that good at that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I did hear something about this. Did you guys? I think Steady sent us the thing that Kurt Angle's coming to San Antonio.
So what I read is that it's with Pro Wrestling Element, the group that started like earlier this month. I guess they're just a San Antonio thing, because, like, their next show is still scheduled for here. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And yes, Jason was getting ready to call this out in our closing. Dynamite tickets for December 21st in San Antonio at Freeman Coliseum go on sale tomorrow. And it's funny because AEW posted that information on Twitter, and whoever runs the account at MJF Scarf tried to say that place is so old. Didn't Elvis have a concert there in, like, 1956? And Freeman Coliseum did respond to that, by the way. The actual Freeman Coliseum Twitters put out the Rolling Stones, Aretha Franklin, Selena, Kiss, Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, and many more. You say old, we say historic, but what do we know?
And let us not forget, probably bigger than all of those, Dude Love.
Yeah, Dude Love's debut at the Freeman Coliseum.
Hey,
Mike and I were there.
Or as the editors of his book mispronounced, the Fremont Coliseum, but we'll forgive him for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I know. I met the people who run MJF Scarf. They're actually really nice, but they're also hilarious.
I hope it wasn't meant. Yeah, I mean, I hope.
They were just.
Or were they MJFing it up?
I think
that's what was going on. Heels.
Yes, tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow for Dynamite in San Antonio. Will also be a Rampage taping, and potentially the last. It's going to be the last live Dynamite of the year with Christmas the following week. It's very potentially could be there. So
so this just popped up. I think I did read this earlier. I don't know if you guys heard, but Kevin Nash's son passed away.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So poor guy.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to him. That's tough.
Very much. I can't imagine losing a son. So
yeah.
Hey, he's fishing for shit, right? I mean, I don't know. This is
Jay, man, did everyone choose violence today? Like, just seriously. I mean, what
Anyway, next week we will recap NXT's Halloween Havoc and discuss any other wrestling news that comes around. Excuse me.
Yep.
See if Dynamite gets moved around anymore because of the baseball playoffs, but I don't think so. It's Astros not good.
Yeah, Wednesday, as far as I know.
Yeah, back on Wednesday. Astros got a 2-0 lead on the Yankees right now, and for the one Yankees fan that I am, one of the few Yankees fans I'm friends with, he's like, dude, I hope the Yankees get swept, is what he said, because he's just kind of tired of all this. So, no faith.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thanks, everyone, for watching the Countdown City WrestleCast. If you didn't catch us live, feel free to let us know your thoughts on Halloween Havoc. You feel free to comment with your match predictions, and let us know your thoughts on the show, too. So when we have the recap next week, we can discuss it as well. Over here, we got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Speak good to each other.
We got Tommy.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
We'll catch you next week.
Boom. Adios, Gunther.